What's up, Mo? Mo, how the heck did you get in here so fast? I straight up hit the go live button and you're up in the chat. That's insane. Anyway, figured I'd do a little late night stream because I have no other time to stream. None whatsoever. Nah, but for real. No cap. I was sitting here wasted the entire day. Alright, I mean, I'm reaching new heights of like unproductivity. Mo says no time to stream, juggling too many women. Low key, Mo. Listen, I was texting two of these shawties not last night, today. You know what I'm saying? The problem is the one's chopped and the other one's like, I can't figure my opinion out, which isn't a good sign. Okay, that's not a good sign. But no. I don't remember if you were in the streams or whatever, Mo, but I've gotten a job. So I got a job, and so I've been working that, and like I started last week with like doing some overnights. I don't commit to the full overnight, alright? But I be letting the people know that I can stay after closing. You know what I'm saying? And so like this entire week, like last week I worked 52, 53 hours, something like that, so I finally got into the overtime. And then this week I'm already up to like 42, 43 hours. So my next shift tomorrow, that entire shift is just going to be overtime now. But yeah, so this week I was working like 11 or 12 hour shifts a day because I would go clock in at 3, the store closes at 9, and then I would stay until about 3 a.m. Go home, sleep until 2, and do it again. So I haven't had any time to stream. I had to freaking apologize to Jay Ryan. You know, we were supposed to do a conspiracy theory stream about the movie with Mel Gibson. He finally watched it and everything. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. I don't have the time to stream. You know? And then but like it's only temporary. You know, I'm just working this amount of hours right now to make up for when I go back to school and then like I can't work. You know what I'm saying? We got Buzz up in the chat. What's up, Buzz? Mo says, how are you supposed to be a kept man when you have a job? That's what I'm saying. Dude. I remember, like, after, like, the first week that I got hired, I was sitting here and I got sad for a second because I realized, like, I could no longer say that I'm unemployed. You know, which, I mean, like, that's a good thing. But, like, for the entirety of my life, I could be like, oh, I'm unemployed. And now, I just be like, now, sure, I could be unemployed again, but I know that I would have been employed. It's like I ruined my streak, man. That's not even a joke. I genuinely got sad about that. It's kind of funny. But yeah, anyway, so today was my day off. And I finally just like slept until like 3 or 4. Because I was up till, what, 6 a.m., 5 a.m.? So, caught up on my sleep. And then I proceeded, you know, because I've been trying to use the summer to prepare for my thesis. And so I have like all these character designs. I have almost the entire movie roughly animated, storyboarded. And I'm trying to complete that before the semester starts. But I haven't had any time to do it with the shift. Because like even if I get home, I'm just too tired and I'm off caffeine. I'm off all stimulants and stuff right now. So it's like if I'm tired, I'm kind of like toast, you know? So instead of being wise and seizing the day, I decided to sit around and play my guitar and play video games. And then now it was like 1:30, and I suddenly was like, bro, am I retarded? I was like, what a waste of a day. And so I decided I would stream. It was between streaming and climbing out on the roof. And well, actually, I was going to climb out on the roof before it got too late and then stream. But I couldn't figure out how to pop the screen off the window. I was taking pictures and I was sending it to ChatGPT, and that was kind of helping me out. But I didn't want to break it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to wait until I'm home alone, so that then I can like be loud and like actually figure out how you pop this screen off. Because it's not like every other screen window that I've had, you just slide it up. This, it doesn't slide. So I'm like, I gotta pop it out somehow. So I'm gonna figure that out another day. And then I can finally go out on the roof. What's up, Dale A? What? Get a ladder? No, you don't. No, Dale. Listen, I can climb out to the roof from my window, because my window's on the second story. And like the roof is right, like my window is kind of like, there's my window, and then there's the roof, and then there's the edge of the roof. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could walk out of my window onto the roof. So it's like a perfect opportunity. But the frickin' screen is screwing me over. Mo says maybe the suffering will be good for your art. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? The chopped girl you were texting, is she a heavy girl? No, she's not chopped. She's actually, she is actually very much into sports. She's like a runner. Is that what they call it when you run? Moses, I'm thinking if you could convince her to stand outside, so if you fall off the roof, she could soften the blow. Mo, remember when I told that one fat chick I was talking to that I wanted to get strong enough that I could catch her if she fell out of a window? Dude, I forgot I said that until you said this. I started reading what you said and I thought you were referencing that. Oh, dude, that feels like a lifetime ago. I was like, what, 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Oh, dude. That's depressing. You were referencing it like a reverse version? That's poetic. It's poetic. Nah, dude, she's not fat. She's very skinny. She's just unattractive. But I've got stories to tell. I've got stories to tell about all these skanks pulling up to my work. Mo, I was working, and I was helping this mother and daughter make like photocopies and stuff like that of the daughter's like birth certificate, passport stuff, and all, because she was going on a trip. She needed all this stuff so she could try and expedite her passport. And like the mother was like kind of a bimbo. Alright, she was just like a mess. The daughter was being embarrassed by the mother, and I was just laughing at it all. Like, and it was taking forever because they're trying to send an email. They're sending an email. They sent the wrong type of file. Then they don't want the entire file printed. They only want. So the point is, I spent probably a solid 20-30 minutes helping these customers. Now, within those 20 or 30 minutes, the mother called me sweet multiple times, and she also said that I would fit in at the dinner table. Like, bruh, bruh. But you see, the problem is, I get what the mother was trying to do, but the problem is, I can't make any moves on the daughter while the mother is there. So the mother is trying to set it up, but she's also stopping it from happening. And I was like, bruh, this is like awful. That just happened like, I don't know, 2 days ago or something like that. And then, before that, there was this whole other frickin' saga, which I gotta tell Jay Ryan about, because he's gonna find it very interesting. But there was like some chick who showed up like 2 weeks ago, started doing a project, her friend flipped me off, she left, she was supposed to come back, she never came back. I was like, bruh, you gotta be kidding me, why'd she never come back? And then I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. I thought maybe I didn't have a shift the day that she showed up, or I was just like, I guess she just like quit the project that she was working on, right? I was like devastated because I was telling people, I was telling all my coworkers about this, all right? And then like 2 weeks go by and she freaking pulls up. She pulls up and I mean, what went down is now being like actually referred to by the employees as like lore. You know? Mo says my brother's second girlfriend started like that. The mom was trying to hook him up with. Dude. I don't get why moms do that. It's like, you gotta stay in your lane, mother. You know? But, yeah, no. This whole thing, freaking. Okay, so. I need to give the full context. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to lay out this story. Now, at work, it's mainly a bunch of like boring people, okay? Almost every employee there is boring, except for me, a guy who we will call John, and a girl that we'll call Sarah, okay? Now, John gets picked on a lot by the manager. John is like a 40-year-old guy, but he kind of acts like he's in his 20s. He's very funny, okay, very friendly, and he shows up a little bit late to his shift. He brings a Bluetooth speaker. He's blasting Guns N' Roses, so we don't have to listen to the frickin' stupid radio that's going over like the intercom type thing. A lot of times he doesn't even wear his work uniform, okay? He's got like a ponytail, but like the sides of his head are like shaved, okay? He's a character. Now, almost all the employees love John, okay? When they get a shift with John, it's like, it's gonna be a fun shift. Now, Sarah gets along with John, gets along with me. So the three of us are pretty good friends, especially because John works in like the same area as me, and everybody else who works in our area is essentially a moron, okay? So me and him, we get along very well. Now, John is quite the character. He has had quite the life, all right? As far as it goes with, what do you call it? I mean, he's not a player, but he's essentially a player. All right. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm working, right? And I work at the copy center, and he's also in the copy center, but he kind of does like more customer service type thing as opposed to actually printing things and what have you. All right. Now, I'm busy working, but out of the corner of my eye, I think I see this chick pull up from like 2 weeks ago. But really, I didn't think it was her. I was just like, oh, she looks familiar. All right, but I'm busy working on an order. And then, I don't know, 5 minutes go by. I hear John is talking to somebody. But I'm not really paying attention. And then John comes over to me, and I notice that this chick is the chick from 2 weeks ago who was being all flirty with me and who I've been waiting to come back. Because she was trying to print out like this sticker label type thing to put on a bucket, which would then be used to put like beer bottles in. She was gonna give it to like her mother's boyfriend for like his birthday, okay? The problem is when she showed up originally, she didn't have the bucket. And I was like, lady, you need to have the bucket so we can measure the circumference so we can know what size to make this label. So she goes, okay, I'll come back with the bucket. Well, 2 weeks later, she finally shows up with the bucket. And then, like, John was saying something to me about, oh, this chick's hot or whatever. I was like, yo, this is the chick I was telling you about. And he's like, you got her. I was like, cool. So I start helping her out. She recognizes me. And then I'm trying to print the thing out. And, you know, it's this special paper. So, of course, the printer jams. I don't really let her know that the one printer jams. I just move to the next printer. I'm doing it. Okay. We're chatting it up. And then John is busy talking to the other employee in the section who we will refer to as the low talker, okay? This person is straight up the low talker from Amazon. Not from Amazon, from freaking Seinfeld, okay? But she's like, the thing she doesn't make any sense. So she kind of sucks at printing. So I try to have her out of the print and have her do like Amazon returns, because we also do that here. Because then she doesn't mess up any print orders, which I would then have to redo. So John is now talking to the low talker to keep the low talker away from interrupting me and the shoddy. Well, the low talker gets busy, goes somewhere. John comes over and stands directly in between me at the computer station and the shoddy at the counter. And he starts talking to me, and he goes, hey Noah, where are you from? And I tell him. He's like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, I don't think I asked you before. I don't think I knew that. He then just moves away, and now it's like silent for like 45 seconds, like a minute, right? Because at this point, I've run out of things to talk to the shoddy about. I've already been like, oh, you came back, whatever, blah, blah, blah. What do you want printed? How do you want? So on and so forth. So, like, there wasn't really anything to talk about. But because he did that and then he left, 45 seconds later, she goes, oh, so did you graduate from blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, here we go. I'm in. So then we start talking about, oh, what I do. I'm freaking pull up my Instagram. I pull up my website. She's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. She's asking questions about it. I asked her, I was like, why do you ask? Did you live, blah, blah, blah? She tells me where she lives. Okay? I mean, this was like the smoothest wingman move I've ever seen. And then when I jammed the one printer, I just kind of whispered it to John, and John just nonchalantly, without bringing any attention to it, just walked over and unjammed the printer while I was talking to her. So she didn't know that I jammed it. It was like, or that I don't remember if I mentioned that I jammed it, but like she like didn't really notice anything. So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to her. Okay, I find out what she does for a living, blah 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 blah. We're printing out the labels, and then we're trying to figure out how we're gonna do it. It kept like printing wrong, but it wasn't really my fault. It was her fault because the file wasn't the right size. So then she's trying to resize it, so on and so forth. The great thing is, it's now been like 30 minutes, all right, and we're just talking. We're working on it. Eventually, I get the label printed out. We're like cutting it because we found out that the bucket is actually a cone shape, which means you cannot wrap a rectangle label around it perfectly without it like bunching up. So we were trying to figure that out. We're cutting it. She's like, "Oh, you should cut more." I'm cutting it. Then she's like, "Oh, well, you know best." Blah 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 blah. And then we're getting ready to put the label onto the bucket, and the freaking air conditioning starts blowing the label, and we're both like, "Oh crap, this isn't gonna work well." So I suggest to her, I go, "Well, you could just go outside and put it on outside." She acted as if I was supposed to go with her. So, me doing what any guy would do, I go with her. But the problem is, to get outside, you see, the cash register is right by the doors, and it just so happened that my manager was working the cash register. And he's just staring me down as I walk by him. And I'm like, is he going to yell at me? Because what am I doing going outside when I'm on the clock? Right? And plus, I'm freaking walking with some girl. So I was like, listen, I'm just going to help this girl out, right? We go outside. We set the thing up. She knocks a plastic sign off of like these buckets that are on display outside the store, and the plastic sign breaks. She can't get the freaking the backing off the label off. It's stuck on. She finally gets it off, only for us to realize I printed the image on the wrong side of the paper. I didn't print it on the sticky part. I printed it on the part that you peel off. So we had to go all the way back inside. But while I was outside, and this is important for later on in the story, while what's up, Sumo? Is Noah drafting the worst letter to PH forum ever? Listen, I'm just telling you how it happened, okay? Now, while I'm outside trying to help this chick, I notice the person I'm referring to as Sarah, she is walking in from the parking lot. I think she was getting like shopping carts or whatever. Now, we go back inside, we reprint the thing out, we print it on the right side, recut it, we bring it back outside, we're trying to put it on. She starts talking to me about, oh, you know, and I'm like telling her, you know, that like this isn't really part of my job. Of course I'm not saying it like that. You know, I said it in like a smooth way because like I don't want her thinking that I'm gonna do this every time she comes in. Right? But we go out there, we go ahead and do it. She starts telling me she's hungry, right? And then she's like, oh, my sister ordered us pizza, right? And we all know I'm a big fan of pizza. So I start talking about pizza. I find out the place that she got the pizza from is a place that like my family has this whole story thing about from like when my parents met or something like that. So I just say that, oh, my family has like lore about this pizza place. And then and then and then okay, we're out there, we're doing it, we put the label on, it comes out crooked because she freaking put her end on. Okay, she wanted me to cut the edges of the rectangle at an angle to kind of make it into like a trapezoid type shape because she thought that that would fit the cone better. But then on the bucket there was a seam. She then took the edge, which was cut at an angle, and made it be straight and like perpendicular, not perpendicular, parallel to that seam, which means she put it on crooked. So now the whole thing's crooked. We just put it on, but we're like, you know what? It doesn't look that bad. I'm like, listen, it's for beer, right? So it'll look better as the night goes on. We go back inside, and we have to print out a second label because I needed two to like completely cover the circumference of this bucket. All right, I go inside. John is like giving me looks like bro, what are you doing? Not like what are you doing? Like, oh, are you being stupid? More like, I see you spending all this time talking to this chick. Now, I start doing the next label, and she is like, oh wait, but what's that story about the pizza restaurant? So she's like invested. She's interested. I tell her whatever, blah 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 blah. And at this point, right, I'm already trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, I gotta ask for her number or something, because after John did all this wingmanning, I can't just not ask for like her number. But I'm like, okay, do I? I feel weird asking for somebody's number at work, right? I don't know if that's like something you could get in trouble for or what, but so I'm starting to already like trying to plot this out. And so I was saying, I was like, oh, well, you'll have to let me know how the party goes, if the guy likes it, whatever. Go ahead, we put the thing on. John starts helping get out like the air bubbles in the label. He like pulls like a freaking razor blade out of his wallet and starts cutting like small little holes in the label, and then like squeezing like the little air pockets out. Okay, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, this is so complicated, I'm gonna have to bring in a beer for everybody. But she's like asking me, she's like, oh, when's the next time you work? Because I had said, oh, you gotta let me, know how this goes. She's like, when's the next time you work? Now, I knew that I had the schedule on my phone because somebody sent me a picture of it. But right next to where I'm working, we have the schedules printed out. I knew that the next week's schedule wasn't posted because this was on a Saturday. I knew that the next week schedule wasn't posted yet there, but I knew that I had it on my phone. So what I did was I went over and looked at the schedule so it would look like I was actually trying to find it out. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't have the schedule here yet. And then she's like, I was like, but like I'll be like working like the same time or whatever. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, because I have like returns to bring in. And I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, oh, but if you want, you could follow my Instagram or whatever. Now, I said this strategically because I had already shown her my Instagram earlier when it came up in the conversation. I couldn't tell if it was wrong to ask for her number because I'm working there, right? Also, I didn't want to ask for her number and then her be like, oh, I got a boyfriend, right? I'm like, that will make it awkward, and then maybe she won't want to come back because she might think she might run into me. Now the store is losing business. And also, if I got her number, my thinking was I don't have any pictures. So like I'm not gonna be able to flex on all my friends, right? I would have to like try and get her to then send me photos. That's too much work. So she's like, oh sure, yeah, I was gonna follow you anyway. So she goes ahead, follows me. She leaves. It's all cool. Now, Sarah works at the other end of the store. Sarah comes walking over like immediately. John's talking to me, the low talker's talking to me. Oh, dude, what the heck happened? Oh, that was. Sarah comes over and she's like, bro, you were helping that customer for like an hour. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But really, like the next interesting part of the story is I found out that while I was outside, the three of them were all talking about this whole thing. But remember how I told you that Sarah was outside in the parking lot? She took pictures of me helping. She took pictures of me helping this chick when we were outside, and then brought them inside and was showing it to the other employees, and then ultimately she texted it to me. But I thought that was pretty funny. But then, what else happened? Yes, that was the story. That was the story of how I picked up a chick. Sumo, that doesn't count, okay? It's not the same thing. Mo says, oh, by the way, what's up, Moromi? Mo says, no, when she brought you guys beers, you should have used it as an excuse to take a selfie with her drinking. Then you'd have a picture. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, yeah, now it's been like a week, and I'm kind of thinking I should have gone for the number, because she hasn't been on, like, Instagram, like, once. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang, I should have gone for the number. And, like, I technically... Here's where it gets into, like, the morals, right? Oh, by the way, she's 25. She's 25, and she works in finance. And, like, she's kind of hot, but she's also, like... She's not, like, the hottest. I've seen and I've talked to hotter. When I got her Instagram, which is essentially a number, you would know this, Sumo, if you paid attention. But listen, here's the thing, okay? It's now been a week. Well, tomorrow will mark exactly a week. She hasn't come back in like she said she would. Wait, aren't you like 20? Yeah, I'm 21. She's 25. And that didn't stop her from chatting me up either. But like, I'm not taking her all that seriously, for the record. I just found it to be entertaining. But it's like, if I really wanted her number, I do, like, the store does have her number on file. So like, I could access the files very easily and have her number. But I think that would be creepy. So like, I'm not gonna do that. But I did think about it for like 5 seconds. She works in finance. Good luck, bro. Yeah. No, dude, doesn't this mean that she's like rich? Couldn't I like mooch off of her? Keep in mind, this chick is already halfway to Angela. Dude, that's why I said I'm not taking her seriously. You know? But it was funny. Now everybody keeps asking me about, oh, what's the update? Blah 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 blah. You know? But like, I don't really care about it. I'm still invested in getting. Well, Sumo, it's not like that, bro. I have to take down their numbers when I place the tickets. So like, if I could find an excuse, that would be a reason to contact her on business, there's nothing wrong with that. Because she was saying something about, oh, this might just be a prototype and I'm gonna bring like another one in. You know. Granted, that's a stretch. Okay, I know it's a stretch. But like, listen, if I never see her again, I don't care. She's 25. She's also kind of chopped. It was just an entertaining thing that occurred. I'm still invested in trying to figure out how to get this other chick back. Last night, after I clocked out of the overnight, I didn't want to go home right away. So I was just walking around the store talking to that John guy. But I laid down. It was funny. I was laying down flat on my back on the counter, and he's like stocking shelves. And we're plotting ways to try and get her back. It was funny. It was funny. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, definitely don't use the... Well, see, here's the thing. I could call her from the store phone. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do it. It's just purely for the sake of conversation. What's up, awesome one? Sumo says I'm older than 25. What does chopped mean? Chopped means ugly. You know? And like, yeah, like kind of ugly, but it's just like a more fun way of chopped. Like, I don't know. You kind of just have to like not be a boomer unk, you know? Sumo, you gotta kind of piece it together. Change my username to nice. No, this nice thing, this is coming to an end. Okay? It's freaking ridiculous. Shelby Robertson told Joe Weems about nice. Like, this has gone too far. Too far. You know, nice is going to die. It's going to. It doesn't have the legs. You know what I'm saying? It'll last maybe a year max. But there's no way. Mo. Alright. First or second week, I was doing returns. And I realized, because like normally like that week I was working during the day, and then I finally had like a night shift. And I realized that I was still telling people to have a good day, even though it was like 7 p.m. or like 8 p.m. And this hot chick walks up, and I'm like scanning her stuff. I'm like getting in my head, I'm like, okay, make sure you say have a good night. No, make sure you say have a nice night. And so I go to say have a nice night, and I say have a nice. And like, I didn't get to correct it, and she was just like already walking away, and she goes, you too. So like, what I don't get is why everybody's making fun of me for saying nice, and nobody's making fun of this stupid skank for telling me to have a nice. Because she didn't correct it. She didn't say have a nice night. She goes, you too. And then like, I just mentioned this in a stream that Shelby was doing. I just thought it would be funny for like 5 minutes. You know how Shelby's streams are. They get boring. You know, he just kind of becomes like an old man ranting about like the same 5 things. So I was like, let's go ahead. You know, it'll be a funny little story. Shelby will laugh. And then Shelby thought it was like the funniest thing ever And now everybody's trying to make it a whole big thing. I pull up into streams, people are like, "Are you having a nice nice?" I won't even be in a chat and people are saying nice nice. People are like, and the people streaming are now referring to things as nice nice. Like if somebody says something nice, they're like, "Yeah, is it nice nice?" It's like, bruh. What's up, some person? The reason nice nice keeps going is because you got upset about it. Yes, some person. Some person, you do not know how much sleep I've lost over nice nice, because I would totally tell a story that I would get upset about publicly. I know, right? It's vicious. It's a vicious cycle. If only there was some way, some person, if only there was some way to get people to stop talking about a funny story that involves me. If only there was some way. Sumo says the only way nice nice dies if you embrace it as your go-to tagline, right? Why would I join Von Coleman's new impromptu comic book company? Why would I do that, Awesome? Make it your thing, nice nice baby. Maybe. It is funny how fast they caught on. Some person says you created I didn't create a story. The story occurred. Let that be clear. This was an actual thing that did happen. It was more successful than you bargained for. I know. I'm suffering from success. You know? It's like, oh no. What's that one meme? It's like, oh no. My lobster is too buttery. My steak is too juicy, you know? Oh, someone says Weems could do a cover for Nice Nice. He could. Does Weems, does he pencil at all? Or does he just ink? Mo says, you can say NTM stands for nice twice, man. Right? So first it says, your look has spread throughout the internet. VTubers are saying it now. What's a VTuber? I actually don't know. I do not know. Go on Twitch? Nah. The only time I was on Twitch was when Jim Lee was working on Action Comics 1000, and he would like do like 8-hour streams where he's eating like Jack in the Box and just drawing pages. I think they're on YouTube now. Anime characters used as avatars that are animated. Huh. Sounds retarded. Mostly women. Of course. Of course. Oh yeah. But anyway. You know. So that's pretty much everything. You know. Everything that's been going on. Yes, they do sound retarded. Do they do that stupid, like, e-girl voice accent thing? I don't get why that became a thing. I don't see what is appealing. But, yeah, I got, like, 3 weeks until I go back to school. Oh, dude, but it's funny. I've got like multiple multiple employees. Okay, because, like, you guys know, right? I come on here, I rant about the stupid shawties. You know, I get Jay Ryan to, plot and theorize and all that stuff. But now it's actually spread in real life. Now I have my coworkers doing this. You know, I got them invested in the lore. It's fantastic. Because now I have like 3 solid new insights on the situation. Because I got like 2-3 weeks till school starts. Which means time is a ticking. You know, I gotta start drawing up the battle plans. So then I have my strategy figured out. It's very fun. Also, someone says, does Angela even grace the stream, let alone a woman? What? Does Angela even grace the stream? Not really. It's not full of enough drama for Angela. Angela, she only goes in the chats where there's like a bunch of like just stupid drama people. That and like Jason's chat. You know? Let alone woman? Let alone... Oh, like, do any women come in here? Nah, dude. Dude, if women came in here, it'd be awful. I mean, K-pop comes in. That's bad enough. K-pop's become like a, contrarian. She's become a contrarian and a major J-simp. I think her opinion shifts like purely on whatever Jay says. I've noticed it. It's kind of freaky. Kind of freaky. Also, it says, accidentally watched a drama stream she was modding. I blocked the channel. Right? I don't get it. I mean, Angela, like in one of Shelby's streams, she was saying something about she used to have an ex-boyfriend who was like a drug dealer or something. And it's like, when you know that, and then you see the streams that she hangs out in, a lot of things make sense, you know? Mo talking about the stupid VTubers says the appeal is lost on you if you don't have weed dementia combined with typical brain rot. Yeah. That's true. Mo says, to be clear, I'm not the drug dealer in question. Oh yeah, dude, Mo, what the heck happened to D-Wag? Did he fall off the face of the earth? Like, what's up with that guy? Dude, remember the first, like, crack stream or something with him and Skip Edwards? Dude, Skip still has not put out a book since that stream. But he's drawn like 3 of them. He just draws it and then throws it out. And then starts drawing another one. And then throws it out. It's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, he's too old to be drawing pages and throwing the pages out. Now, D-Wag is slowly gearing up to relaunch his channel. Hasn't he been doing that for like 2 years? It's taken a while because he's upping the production. Supposedly, Skip's hard drive failed. Lost his art on the gay sheriff story. I didn't even know he had a gay sheriff story. I can't speak to the magician story? Yeah, right? Dude, has Goblin Girl come out yet? Did Billy finally color that book? That book is just like irritating. And it's not Plagle's fault. It's just irritating that you would have a colorist and then the colorist would take forever to color a book when that person is like not good health wise. But has that book come out yet? Because like I don't think it has. Because wasn't like Billy supposed to freaking color Skip's magician story or something like that? J.R. Shelby described how he's not good at running a business. Yeah. Well, lots of people aren't. I'm not saying that I'm good at running a business either. I'm just saying in general. And remember like B-Rose? That dude, he freaking fell off the face of the earth. Same with that stupid Phoenix guy. Bro, that Phoenix, what was it, like Phoenix Animation or Phoenix? The dude who did all those stupid metal things. That was almost as bad as freaking Aerith Saga. Dude, that guy was like a piece of trash. Everybody was hyping him up too. They were like, bro, Aerith is the GOAT. Oh my gosh, dude. He uses Shopify. Oh, he puts his stuff in like a special mailer box. This guy's the GOAT. It's like, bro. I remember that was happening. I was like, well, yo, why is everybody like straight up worshipping this guy? And then what happened? He like, and he's all like, no, dude, I'm like serious about this comic stuff. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then he just like disappeared, deleted his Twitter. No, not Phoenix, Aerith Saga. Cause all those Mexicans, all those people who hung out in that thing, even Bancroft to a degree, they were like, bro, Aerith Saga, he's great. And then what happened? He like got into some legal thing. Dude, he had a freaking AI like chatbot running a Twitter account where it was supposed to be a freaking like it was like the character from the book, as if the character was Tweet. Yeah, he did. And then what happened? He deleted all the Twitter accounts, deleted the websites, and now he's gone. And I just find that to be a little bit funny, considering how much everybody was like, dude, this guy's legit. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Alright. You know what that guy was? He was a professional LARPer. That's what that guy was. Mo says, yeah, I don't think the segregation thing was a good idea. Yeah. His book was actually cool, and then he randomly decided to reboot it into a weeb art style that wasn't as good. Yeah. I don't know why he did that. And then, like, he had that stupid dwarfs versus lions thing. And, dude, oh my gosh. Like, just looking back at it, it's like, what the heck? You know, everybody was acting like that was like it was such a gimmick. It was a good gimmick. Don't get me wrong. It was a good gimmick. But it was just a gimmick. It was just a gimmick. You know? And it's like, but like the genius of that gimmick is he was just stroking people's egos by putting people in the book. You know? And then of course they think it's like the greatest thing ever. Like that was clever. That was clever. But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of just weird when like you think back to all the hype it had. Just because like if it was like a product and not like a piece of art, you know what I'm saying? Who's obsessed with You Awesome One? Is anybody obsessed with you? Bro, you see that freaking chick from Obsession? She freaking turned down working in Heat 2. Just oh okay, I see. I got it. She turned down working in Heat 2 to freaking play in the X-Men. This just goes to show that like women are stupid and they'll just do things for money. You know, it's like she could actually be a part of like a good piece of art and actually build a legacy. Instead, she's just being a freaking what, rogue? She doesn't even make sense to be rogue. It's retarded. I remember the name Comics Way. Yeah, dude, it was like that stuff too. I don't know why so many people went along with all this stuff. It's like, oh, here's all these people showing up and making everything be about how Spanish they are or Mexican. And oh, everything's Mexican about it. And oh, we're only having Mexicans in, but oh, Aerith Saga can be in here because he's an honorary Mexican. It's like, dude, what the heck? You know? It's just like, cause Comics Way, that was a stream, right? And like they tried like cycling it on like the different channels or whatever, kind of like Jack's show. Wait, it was an anthology of multiple creator Comics Way. Didn't they also have a stream called that though? Because I feel like I remember that. They did? Okay. So it was like both. Yeah. It's just funny to every now and then you just think back on all the people that were like, remember that freaking Brian dude? The Dojo Kun Comics guy? Remember him? Didn't he have like a show with K Manifesto? I remember K Manifesto used to seem like such a big shot to me. For whatever reason, when I first showed up, I was like, oh, this guy must be like an important person in like the chats. But now that I think back on it, it's like, wasn't he just like some random guy? Like, he didn't make like any comics or anything, right? Everything about Dojo Kun was weird. Okay? Everything. All of it, dude. All of it. He had that. He had some like weird incestuous cat sister thing. He would freaking like and comment on weird explicit things on Twitter. And like the way Twitter works is when people do that you follow, it pops up in your feed. Yeah, that's right. He used to freaking always show up in the dude. What happened to freaking what's his face? Remember the guy he used to rub the other guy's thigh? Neff? What happened to Neff? That was another one. He showed up and he was like acting like, oh, he has like a whole like business thing set up and this and that. And then they just like disappear. Neff had a major health issue. Alright, that's a valid excuse. I absolve Neff of any shame. You know. But I wonder if he's gonna come back and make more comics, or if he's just like gonna be done with it now. Who else was there? You had frickin' Joe Catapano. He is like just like a YouTuber now. He just makes like those very like autistic videos, like 10-15 minute videos, some like art thing. Makes them be like a very high production value, and he's getting like tons of views. So it's like, good for him. But remember, everybody was like, dude, Star Circuit's crazy. Like when he launched it and stuff. Mo says, I think he will. He showed up in a couple Bancroft's chats recently, but he doesn't stay for long. Mo, you gotta tell Bancroft to change his like thumbnail style. I see his streams and then I see his thumbnails. I'm like, bruh, and then I scroll past them. Like they kind of look gay. He does that little like, he'll put like a 3-word phrase or something, and then he puts this gay little arrow, and it's like, what? I don't know. It's just like a little strange. Dude, what the heck happened to Robocopter? Where's like Replicator? Because I'll pop into Bancroft's art thing here and there, and Robocopter will be up in there. But it's like, now I know that he had some like issue with his back or something. But where is Replicator? Like, okay, right, but does he talk about Replicator? Because I remember back in the day when he'd be on Bancroft's show, like even if it wasn't like a pre-sign up or stuff like that, he would like give like tiny little like updates or whatever about it. I feel like, or maybe it was just because the book was like late, and like the campaign I think was closed down, but he would like talk about it. My point is, does he talk about what's going on with Replicator? Because I don't really follow this stuff anymore. I just like watched Shelby and Jay. The book wasn't late, he was late to launch it. Which issue was that though? Was that 3 or 4? Because I remember, what was the one where Corey colored it and then he had like Bancroft like recolor it? What issue number was that? 4. Okay, you alright. Okay, so 4 is launched? Where did he launch it? What website? I want to look this up. Okay. Yeah, do you know what website he used? Was it like Fund My Comic, or did he go to Indiegogo? You know what? I bet he went to freaking Kickstarter. I feel like I could see Robocopter going to Kickstarter. Oh sweet, you got the link. Alright, let me open this up. He might be on others too. I wonder if he's gonna go to Back Me Bro once that's like a full thing. 13,000 Australian. 134 backers, not bad. Oh, dude, I remember when Shelby inked the one cover. I know I'm not screen sharing it. I'm not going to, but yeah, dude, I had no idea this launched. It actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, good for him. He barely talks about it. Yeah, it's like, dude, if you have a book out, freaking talk about it all the time. You know? Especially when it's like not a late thing. Because there is something where, and it kind of doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. Where it's like when your book is late, sometimes you don't like talking about it because you don't want to remind people it exists. But it's like a double-edged sword because then people go, oh, he hasn't talked about the book in X amount of months. But if the book's not late, like there's no reason not to be talking about it all the time. Especially like when it's first being released, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be out here talking about Mavericks Volume 2 all the time when it's been released for like years. It's not a bad series. I think number 2 was the best issue. Yeah. Maybe issue 4 will be better. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway. I think that's pretty much it for me. I'm gonna get out of here. Go play more video games like a retard and then go to, cause like I could try working on the animation. But see, here's the thing is I've now, it's not analysis paralysis, but it's kind of similar where I'm like, it's not easy to just draw the stuff or like to work on the animation just because I put too, there's the I'm feeling the pressure of where I'm like, oh, this needs to be like good. So then instead of just creating it, I'm like focusing on creating it. While I'm creating, I'm like, oh, is this good? And then it just kind of stresses you out. So I just need to get over that and get back to the grind. But I'll do that tomorrow. I'm not starting that now. It would be stupid. It would be stupid. Because I got work. I don't want to be like overly tired. I don't know. I might work on it. Dude, it's so close. It's so close to being where I need it. It's like I just have to do a few more like character designs. And then like a minute of storyboards, minute, 2 minutes, and then I can have like pretty much the entire thing. What do you call it? Like a rough draft of the entire thing. But whatever. Whatever, bruh. It don't really matter all that much. Alright, I'm getting out of here. Later, people.